nigga high as a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast forward. I am the nigga, young dog. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lean. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden era baby, but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme. Popping them bottles, throwing money, living dreams. Now they zoned out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted defeat. Back in the day, the rock had them wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. The new drugs got them slow with the hit unload. Out close and they don't dance no more. Block used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, just the thrill is gone.
I am the nigga, young dog. I bring it to your rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Even dancing in the rain. Now they nodding off. Shit just don't hit the same.
I am the nigga, young dog. This is John Goss alma mater, ladies and gentlemen. Tuskegee University, the home of Booker T. Washington. What makes it John Goss? You got to cast down your buckets where you are. And Tuskegee University, I think, may be the first HBCU to cast down the bucket and say, you know what? No more abundance on our campus. No more do-rags. We got to conform. We got to cast down our buckets where we are. And we got to make the best of where we are today. It makes John Gall very proud to hear this about Tuskegee University. That's correct. You're probably wondering why the hell is John Gall playing this? This is John Gall's alma mater, Tuskegee University, founded by Booker T. Washington, the same man that said in 1881, we could be as separate as the hands, the fingers on our hand, and everything social, but we could come together like the hand for mutual progress. This is Tuskegee University, HBCU, a black college, banned in the abundance. In the abundance, and you see the headline: Tuskegee's new dress code bans bonnets, do-rags, and bedroom shoes. The fact that they had to ban bedroom shoes is nothing but short of amazing. I think we're back. Jeez, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Anyway, so Tuskegee University, they may be the first HBCU to ban bonnets, do-rags, and bedroom shoes in class. The HBCU is also tightening its attendance and push to prepare students for life after graduation. Again, this is the home of Booker T. Washington, the school that he founded. And I can't believe that they're having to ban bonnets and bedroom shoes that would be slippers and stuff like that, do-rags and things like that. But I think that the home of Booker T. Washington, they're bumping into the reality that a lot of these blacks are finding themselves unemployable. And they're trying to address it, although it may be too late by the time they hit college if they haven't figured out that do-rags and bonnets and bedroom shoes are not acceptable. It may be too late. But give Tuskegee credit for at least trying. And that leads me to a conversation that I had with the tenant today. And I'm going to play this video. This is a conversation. You've heard this lady before. And she was expressing how ugly the black woman is that was in the house with her. And then I'm going to share with you some of the patterns that I've been seeing over the last couple of years. And I think it's leading to some of the high black female unemployment and things like that. So here's the conversation that I had with a Latino, and I like to say I was giving her the talk. For those of you that never heard of the talk, John Derbyshire wrote an article in, maybe it was the National Review. John Derbyshire, the talk. Maybe it was Tacky. Maybe it was Tacky magazine. I can't remember. But he gave an article. It was the Honest Review, the talk, the non-black version by John Derbyshire. And here's that article. As you can see, had quite a few comments. This was written in 2012. The talk, non-black version. There is much talk about the talk. Sean O'Reilly was 16 when his mother gave him the talk that most black parents give their teenage sons. Denisa Superville of the Hackensack Record tells us, meanwhile, down in Atlanta, her sons were 12 and 18 when Marlon Tillman realized it was time for her to have the talk. Gracie Bond Staples writes in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Leonard Green talks about the talk in the New York Post. Someone byline is KJ Dale Antonio talks about the talk in the New York Times, and on it goes. And so here's Derbyshire in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, giving the non-black version of the talk. Among your fellow citizens are 40 million who identify as black and whom I shall refer to as black. The cumbersome and MLK non-compliant term African American seems to be in decline, thank goodness. Colored and Negro archaisms, what you must call the N-word, is used freely among blacks, but it's taboo to non-blacks. Number one. Number two, American blacks are descended from West African populations with some white and Aboriginal American admixture. The overall average of non-African admixture is 20 to 25%. The admixture distribution is nonlinear, though it seems that around 10% of the African American population is more than half European in ancestry. And on it goes. This was Derbyshire. The default principle in everyday personal encounters is that as a fellow citizen with the same rights and obligations as yourself, any black individual is entitled to the same courtesies you would extend to a non-black citizen. That is basic good manners and good citizenship in some unusual circumstances. However, this default principle should be overridden by considerations of personal safety. As with any population of such a size, there's great variation in every human trait. They come fat, thin, short, dumb, smart, introverted, etc. There are black geniuses and black morons. There are black saints and black psychopaths. In a population of 40 million, you will find almost any human type. Only the far, far extremes of certain traits are their absences. There are, for example, no black Fields Medal winners. While this is civilizationally consequential, it will not likely ever be important to you personally. Most people live and die without ever meeting or wishing to meet a Fields Medal winner. As you go through life, however, you will experience an ever larger number of encounters with Black Americans. Assuming your encounters are random, for example, not restricting only to Black convicted murderers or to Black investment bankers, the law of large numbers will inevitably kick in. You will observe that the means, the averages of many traits are very different for Black and white Americans, as has been confirmed by methodical inquiries in the human sciences. Of most importance to your personal safety are the very different means for antisocial behavior, which you will see reflected in, for instance, school disciplinary measures, political corruption, and criminal convictions. These differences are magnified by the hostility many Blacks feel toward whites. Thus, while Black on Black behavior is more antisocial in the average than is white on white behavior, average Black on white behavior is a degree more antisocial yet. A small cohort of Blacks, in my experience, around 5%, is ferociously hostile to whites and will go to great lengths to inconvenience or harm us. A much larger cohort of Blacks, around half, will go along passively if the 5% take leadership in some event. They will do this out of racial solidarity, the natural willingness of most human beings to be led, and a vague feeling that whites have it coming. Thus, while always attending to the particular qualities of individuals, on the many occasions where you have nothing to guide you but knowledge of those mean differences, use statistical common sense. Avoid concentrations of Blacks, not all known to you personally. Stay out of heavily Black neighborhoods. If planning a trip to a beach or amusement park, find out whether it's likely to be swamped with Black people based on that date. Do not attend events likely to draw a lot of Blacks. Well, what is a lot of Blacks? These are the holes in Derbyshire's the talk that he left open for interpretation. And today I want to share a call with you, and I'm going to give you some context around this call. This is a Black woman. Well, you've heard her before. She's a Hispanic woman. And here is the call.
Like that. Politicians and Wall Street and all that stuff, they do have a big influence over New York, but nobody's as influential as the landlord.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes. How you doing?
I don't know what's going on, boy.
Say, what's going on? Is the black lady still calling the problem? She said what did she say? Something about you being Spanish or something? What that had to do with anything?
So basically, I said, "Did you call the paramedics?" And she said, "Bitch, why would I do that? Something I'm not a crackhead or some shit." Like, all these Migos. She was like something about all these Migos are in the house, or why did he let a Migo move in or some shit.
Are you visibly Spanish? Hispanic or whatever? Oh, you kind of tell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short or something? Do you know a lot of these Black women be very jealous of like people with long hair? Is your hair long or something?
Yeah, the hair that I have in my hair is long. Yeah.
Oh shit! And her hair, I guess,
well,
is short.
When you come, you'll see what I'm talking about.
And so her hair is short, I guess.
Yeah.
And you said she kind of ugly.
Yeah, well, not kind of. Yeah, definitely to me. Yeah.
Figure these things out, honestly. That's why the fat Black lady does. This is me giving the talk to the Hispanic woman. Her first interaction was with a Black bull. And the Black bull was ugly as the Hispanic woman described her. And she said she ugly and she jealous of me. She called me a Migo. I'm the only Migo in the house. You heard me say, are you visibly Spanish? She said, yes. I got long hair. It's Black. Short hair. Can barely pull a little ponytail. This is diversity at work. Down on the ground, John Galt is showing you how it doesn't work. Because the Black women, they're so instinctively aware. Deep down, they know that there is no place for them. They're ugly. Many of them, not all. And this comes out in their attitudes. And this is what the Hispanic woman is about to tell you. So she's told you about the Black women. Now she's going to tell you about the Black men, the under men and women. I've already shown you the under woman. That was in the earlier clip. That's who she's talking about here. The ugly black woman. They can't form a sisterhood with anyone because they're so ugly that they can't be friends with anyone. They can't even look themselves in the mirror.
Yeah, well, not kind of. Yeah, definitely to me.
Ugly.
Yeah.
You know, figure these things out. Super ugly. That's why super ugly. That's why the fat black lady, the ugly black lady you talking about, super ugly. Why she was so angry towards you? Because every other group is figuring this out. But the blacks can't seem to even figure out how to pay their rent. And she had a man with her, didn't she? This is John Gall giving a talk to a Hispanic woman about blacks. She's new to DC. She doesn't know anything about blacks. And I'm baptizing her by fire. She want to live around blacks? You want cheap rent? This is what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
She had a man with her, right? And
I don't understand that.
But again, she's very ugly. He probably ain't doing very well for himself because why would he be with this ugly woman? And so, they're both down bad, right? And there really is no pulling themselves out of this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you got to think about who would hire these people. You work somewhere. Do they have blacks like this working at your job?
No.
Okay. Right? Think about it. Like, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, the black guy that was moving out, I don't know if you know this. Hey, I don't know how long you've been in DC.
Not just your house. Never lived there before.
Okay. So here's one of the things about the blacks that the longer you stay in DC, you're gonna realize is the blacks oftentimes depend on like government agencies to pay their rent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so we don't accept government money. And so he wanted us to like fill out all this paperwork so that they would pay his rent. And I think he works. He works, but he didn't want to pay his own rent. And I said, yo, bro, we don't take that government money.
Oh God.
So you got to leave. And he got mad about that. And he refused to leave. And I guess until he found another place, I'm not sure. And so when I'm there today, he said, I'll be out by today. I said, okay, what's taking you so long? Because I wanted to do some electrical work in the house. I didn't know you were there. So
why was he in my room?
He was in your room?
Yeah.
When?
When I left out, I was going to the car and he was in my room yelling at the police.
It's some landlord shit right
something
here.
About you cut the electricity off.
It's some good. She just lit it out.
And he was in my room yelling at the police saying something about you cut the electricity off. And then some girl was parked on the side of the street saying, yeah, that's the girl right there. That's the girl right there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, these blacks are really just, is this really the nature of blacks, to be honest with you? Like they're having a hard time making it in America. I'm just being honest with you. Hell, I'm black, so I'm being honest. Yeah.
They can't pay their rent. They're looking for the government to pay it. And they're trying to be as lazy as possible so that the government will pay their rent. In some cases, they'll act stupid, act crazy. They'll do anything to avoid having to pay their rent. And he's, this is just an example of it. The last black lady was the same way. They'll last about 2 or 3 weeks. And then, the money will run out. Their family doesn't help them, stuff like that. And so then, then they'll be back in the same position. Almost every case. I've been doing this a long time, and the blacks just have not been able to figure these things out. Honestly, that's why the fat black lady, the ugly black lady you talking about, why she was so angry towards you, because every other group is figuring this out, but the blacks can't seem to even figure out how to pay their rent. And she had a man with her, didn't she?
Yeah.
She had a man with her, right? And
I don't understand that.
But again, she's very ugly. He probably ain't doing very well for himself because why would he be with this ugly woman? And so, they're both down bad, right? And there really is no pulling themselves out of this. I hope you're noticing that there is no resistance. This Hispanic woman is not pushing back at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you got to think about who would hire these people. You work somewhere. Do they have blacks like this working at your job?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right? And think about-
You gotta eat it one more time. No.
think about who would hire these people. You work somewhere. Do they have blacks like this working at your job?
No.
Okay. Right? Think about it. Like, who would rent to these people other than me? Who would rent to these blacks? Like, you seen them now? Who do you think will rent to these fucking blacks?
That's true. Yeah.
She said, that's
I'm
true.
trying to figure out how the hell did he get in my room?
Did you leave the door open?
No, the door was closed all the way.
Oh, no.
That means that he knows my code.
Nah, he can't know your code unless you told him.
But he opened the door. No, hell no, I don't talk to nobody in the house.
Oh.
I closed the door all the way when I left, and he was yelling out the window to the police saying the man cut the electricity off. And then the girl was like, yeah, she's in there. She's in there. That's the girl right there. Talking about me. I'm like, what the hell?
Why wouldn't he just holler out his own window? It's in the front, just like your
I
room.
don't know. He was in my window.
When was this? Was this while I was there?
Yeah, you were there.
So
and then the police said, when I was coming outside, they said, is the landlord in there? I said, yeah. And then that's when he went out the window in my room and said, he cut the electricity off. And then the girl was like, yeah, that's the girl right there. I told you she was in there. I told you she was in there. And then I proceeded to leave. I'm like, okay, this is not making sense.
Yeah, well, he's gone now. These blacks are, they're so disgusting. And I'm black.
So he was mad because he couldn't pay his rent?
He was mad that we didn't accept a government agency. There's some government agency that houses the blacks. I think it's called Everybody Deserves a Home, something like that. Everyone Home DC. He wanted those blacks to pay his rent. There's some black ass government agency, and so he wanted them to pay his rent. And but we don't accept that government money because they bring in people to inspect the whole house and who's living here. Like for the little bit of money we're charging for rent, like. Why go through all of that? Isn't it like if you were maybe in a big ass apartment building where you're paying $2,000 a month in rent?
I'll call you right back. I'm over.
Okay. This is a black lady, the Hispanic lady, and she's expressing concern again about living around blacks, and she admitted just what I was saying. Who would rent to these blacks? Who would hire these blacks? And so again, you have to ask yourself, like, where do they fit in the world? No one wants to hire them. No one wants to deal with them. No one wants to rent to them. Where do they fit in? Why don't the blacks who are so pro-blackity come in and rent to these people?
I'm talking to you,
I think their
Taz.
behavior today is exactly why the blacks don't do it. This black called the police on me, wasted government resources when he was already moving out. What's the need to call the police? Just move out, black. Why waste the government resources calling the police when you 3/4 of the way out of the door? Just keep on moving. Why worry about it? You don't need the lights and the air conditioning to move out. Just move out, black. Won't do it. It's a Carmelo Anthony effect. They want to be where they're not wanted. And this black proved my point exactly. He'd rather sit in a room with no lights, no electricity, no Wi-Fi to spite me as opposed to move on to greener pastures. These are disgusting people. This is why the black wealthy, the black people with money do not even want to do business with their own people. Because deep down, instinctively, they know their own people and how disgusting they are to deal with. Once again, I am John Galt, the urban landlord, bringing it to you rough, rugged, and raw.
You know what, Jungle? I gotta hand it to you. This is Vic Warren.
Gotta hand it to
So I give you that.
Gotta hand it to me. I was talking to CT earlier today. Y'all got a strike on my other channel, by the way. That's why we're here. Man, this YouTube shit is it is difficult to bring it to you raw like we do here with me and Brave, without coloring outside of the lines, as they call it. And so what's interesting is that I got a strike on the intro that I've been playing forever. So that kind of surprised me again because I have a software background and I'm thinking, okay, I did a stream
And it could have hit me on the title, which is even more interesting. The title was "I Am That Nigga John Gall" or something like that with the CCA, no Hardy or anything like that. And so I was going to start the stream, and I got tired. I was already tired, but I was like motivated. But I was saying I can't give it my all, so I ended the stream either during the intro or right as the intro was ending. So I didn't say anything. But they struck the channel for something, was it harassing, bullying, cyberbullying? I can't remember. I can look it up and I can tell you. So I said, well, damn, but I played that intro a million times and never had a problem with it. And in this instance, I didn't even say anything on the stream because I ended the stream before the stream even started, before the intro even ended, I should say. So I can't make heads or tails out of it from a software perspective, other than maybe there's some human interaction, or maybe the AI is flagging the alternative versions of the N-word, and that could be it. I'm not sure. So anyway, I was talking to CT about this, and I was like, because he has 2 strikes, he was telling me, and it's very, very difficult to win when you appeal or whatever. It's almost automated. You're not going to win. So this explains where we are today, here on the Backup channel. So if you have not subscribed to the Urban Landlord Clips, make sure you do. You know, initially my thought was, and this was my thought, I was planning on going live on the Urban Landlord channel and then clipping the videos and the phone calls and putting them here on the Clips channel. But at least until, I think maybe it's October, before the strikes expire, then I'm probably going to have to lean more heavily on this channel to keep from getting any trouble on the, because there's 3 strikes and you're out on the other channel. So there's 2 strikes already held. And as I was telling you, the AI could be working in the background, striking a lot of the videos or flagging a lot of the videos to be, struck for whatever reason. So you never know these days. You never know. And this is why I think offering commentary, truthful commentary on a platform like YouTube, it probably just is not cut out for people like, me and the Be Braves. It's entertaining, but you probably can't sell a lot of ad dollars on it. YouTube is a big conglomerate. They don't need John and Be Brave for the little small numbers that we bring. So you got a very much of a disadvantage, truly, if you want to hear like honest commentary about the taboo like topics, COVID-19, the mask, stuff like that. You just can't do it. And I don't, I was talking to Brave, and Brave was like, John, you just gotta act like you back in corporate America and just talk corporately, like you're in the office or something. Like, and I said, I can do that clearly, but that's not what I came here to do. I came to really, really cute these blacks, unfiltered, and I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know how people make a living being honest, and I guess that's why you see the freezes of the world, that they don't have to worry about the things that I have to worry about in terms of YouTube cracking down on their content. Because one of the things about, and I was doing the training, and I'll explain it to you. So for those of you that don't have channels, stuff like that, or you've never been struck, one thing about the training, and I probably get struck for even talking about this shit, but one thing about the training is they ask you like 7 questions or something like that. And they give you scenario. Hey, if John calls the military of an invading army or an army that your country is up against. So let's say it's Albania and Serbia, and they're fighting against each other. If you were to call the opposing army rats, not a problem. But if you say, hey, the team takeovers, those people are rats, they're disgusting, you got a problem. The problem is that in America, Black people are a protected group. So you can't cast wide aspersions against them, if that makes sense. Even though what you're saying may affect all of them, you can't say it. Yeah. And so that is a part of, it affects people in real estate. Clearly, it affects people on YouTube just the same. And so that is a problem that I'm bumping into, honestly. I think the Blacks, as we've clearly shown, that they are willing to take money out of their household purse to ban me, to more or less enforce censorship. This is their nature. This is who they are. So are they above reproach in terms of, flagging me, reporting me to YouTube? That's free. It costs them nothing to do that. This lady, the J. Lewis lady, I probably get in trouble for mentioning her name. She took $500 or however much out of her own household. This is a woman that clearly doesn't have a man. My lady Lisa wouldn't do that. She wouldn't take $500 out of her household, out of our children's mouth, our child's mouth to ban John Galt. She just, I don't want to listen to this shit anymore. She don't even listen to me anyway. And so this is a serious problem, at least on YouTube. Yeah, they are very mad about this tag team here with Be Brave and John. But it's a very serious problem on YouTube because I don't know how to deal with it. To be honest with you, I really don't know how to accommodate YouTube and be truthful. I could do the boardroom talk. I just don't know how entertaining that is. I would feel constrained. I don't know what you guys think, but I would feel constrained by this. So I'm just not quite sure. Hey John, have you seen your old school? So yeah. I started off the stream with some of the old Tuskegee videos back in the day. It's not this one. Oh no, it's not this one. Yeah, I feel like playing that again because I did say, I got to give a tip of the hat to Tuskegee for doing that. And shout out to Herman for putting me up on that. For those of you that don't know what Dolomite is talking about, and for those of you that may have joined late, I can't help but do it again. Give me a second. Easy Bands is live. Easy Bands. Anyway, here it is. Here's who I started off the stream with. This is Tuskegee University, by the way, founded by Booker T. Washington, John Galt's alma mater. They banned the do-rags, the bonnets, and the bedroom slippers. This is John Galt's alma mater. It's made me proud here. Here they banned the bonnets and the do-rags and the bedroom slippers. This is John Galt's University, Tuskegee. Cast down your buckets where you are, nigga. Cast down your buckets where you are.
I am Jungle, the urban landlord. Damn near live my whole fucking life segregated. It wasn't until I got to DC when I experienced diversity. D-I-E, diversity. This shit don't work, man. It don't work. The white man would have been afraid to ban a do-rag on a PWI. He let these blacks walk around with these PWIs with do-rags and shit. Not the home of Booker T. Washington. It ain't gonna happen like that. It ain't gonna happen like that. We ain't gonna disgrace Booker T. Washington like these blacks do Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. The only school that probably had some blacks even attempt to graduate with an engineering, some kind of science. You see the blacks at Howard getting social work degrees, concentrating in blacks, signing up for welfare like JP. They're going to be working with JP for the rest of their lives. Government monkeys. Government monkeys. Yeah, tip your hat there. Booker T. Washington. Cash down your buckets where you are. Yes, Jungo's alma mater. A lot of my friends, I will say this. A lot of my friends that graduated from there, they went on to work at places like Procter & Gamble, General Electric. They were engineers. I don't know what the level of engineering that they were able to accomplish. But this was back in the, I don't know, what was it, the 2000s and whatever, 1999. And a lot of the friends that I went to school with at the black college I went to, there were no do-rags. There definitely were not any bonnets or bedroom slippers. And so it does amaze me to see how far the black colleges have fallen if they are now having to ban bonnets and do-rags and slippers. It shows you that these people probably were never ever equipped to ascend to corporate America, and educating them is only just creating a problem. Anyway, I have to tip my hat to Tuskegee University for at least taking the first step in banning the bonnets. You have to tip your hat to them. Anyway, I don't know if I played this full video. Yeah. Lady, she's expressing concern again about living around blacks, and she admitted just what I was saying. Who would rent to these blacks? Who would hire these blacks? And so again, you have to ask yourself, like, where do they fit in the world? No one wants to hire them. No one wants to deal with them. No one wants to rent to them. Where do they fit in? Why don't the blacks who are so pro-blackity come in and rent to these people? I think their behavior today is exactly why the blacks don't do it. This black called the police on me, wasted government resources when he was already. Man, I hope there's some landlords in the audience. I hope there's some landlords in the audience. 7 still, I have to clip this up for you. I tell you what I did to this dumb fucking black. And I don't know if you heard the lady. She said, I think she said about right here. Oftentimes depend on like government agencies to pay their rent. Right. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so we don't accept government money. And so he wanted us to like fill out all these paperwork so that they would pay his rent. And I think he works. He works, but he didn't want to pay his own rent. And I said, yo, bro, we don't take that government money.
Oh God.
So you got to leave. And he got mad about that. And he refused to leave. Now, you know what's interesting? I want you to listen to this Hispanic woman giggles about what I say about the black. She does not challenge me one bit, one iota. I guess until he found another place, I'm not sure. And so when I'm there today, he said, I'll be out by today. I said, okay, what's taking you so long? Because I wanted to do some electrical work in the house. I didn't know you were there. So
why was he in my room?
He was in your room?
Yeah.
When
I left out, I was going to the car and he was in my room yelling at the police saying something about you cut the electricity off.
That's how you finesse them blacks. I said, hey, black, you want to do this Carmelo Anthony shit and hang up under my tent? Okay, I'll show your ass. Sit in the damn room with no AC. At this point, he already broken down his bed. He'd already broken down his bed, so he couldn't lay down. So I cut the lights off on his black ass.
No internet, nigga, no lights. I'll wait your black ass out. And so he's screaming out the window. He done cut the lights out. He done cut the lights out and shit. These fucking blacks, they'll sit up on the floor in Indian style if you give them the internet and lights. And this is what the Hispanic woman is saying. Hold on for a minute. Hey, Mom, I'm on my stream. I'm talking about these stupid ass blacks I had to put out today. You hear me?
Okay, I'll call me back.
Yeah. Hello? I called my mama. I said, this stupid ass black done call the police out here. He halfway moved out. I waited till that dumb ass black. And I'm going to tell you something. This is very interesting. I hope there are some landlords in the audience. And I didn't film it. I wasn't even thinking about filming it. And I should have, because it would have been very informative. So what happened? The black reset my lock. So I couldn't enter his room. He shouldn't have done that. So anyway, but he didn't reset the front door locks. That would be changing the lock for everyone, the code for everyone. So when the black, he's hauling his shit out to his car, one piece at a time. He broke down his bed and everything. And so at one point, I'd already changed the front door lock. I locked the fucking nigger out. I shouldn't be using that word. Damn. I locked the black person out. He started knocking on the door. And I said, man, I let him in. I said, I trusted you to let your black ass in. But you don't trust me to give me the code to my own door. And you're halfway moved out. And so this is blacks. This is what I'm saying to you. This is the same black that I had to call his mental health or his rent provider. These people are disgusting. It's a very low trust environment. And it is seeping into the broader society. Let me explain to you what I mean. Like, I've been on Facebook Marketplace. I buy a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm going to show you something. What most of you probably, maybe if you've encountered it, and maybe didn't even pay attention. And this is what blacks are doing. Look at this. So I'm looking to buy a refrigerator. A little mini refrigerator, whatever. And so it's a Zenith Smart Base. Oh, this is a bed. That's right. I'm looking to buy a bed. So I say to the man, hey, is it full size? Is there anything wrong with it? Are all the screws included? He says, yes. Got it? Everything's good. I said, okay, let's roll. Nothing wrong. I'm leaving the United States. I said, look, send me a request by Zelle right now. I'll pay you now and I'll send an Uber to pick up. Are you physically able to just bring it to the front door so the Uber man can pick it up? For those of you that don't know, there is a service in the inner cities called Uber Courier. And I'll share it with you here. If you use Uber, you'll see something like this. Uber Courier is an on-demand same delivery service for sending packages, documents, and everyday items using the Uber app. If you whatever, just like Uber. You can send a bed. If it fits in the trunk, you can fold up a bed, put it in the trunk. Cool. Uber works. A microwave, a drill, a saw, anything. You don't want to go pick it up? Hey, just send an Uber. They'll pick it up for you. And it's cheaper than a regular Uber because they're not picking up people. There's no one eating in your car or anything. The drill doesn't eat. The bed doesn't eat. The bed doesn't give you a bad review, anything. So it's cheaper. And so here's the interaction that I had with this lady just trying to buy a damn bed. Send me a request by Zelle now. I'll pay you now and send an Uber to pick up. Are you physically able to hand it to the driver? She says, I prefer a face-to-face handover. Now that's more dangerous, isn't it? Isn't that more dangerous? I'll explain to you what I mean. Look, I was talking to Be Brave the other day. And there was this.
Public charter school in two people were shot this morning outside a school in Washington, D.C. An adult and a teenager shot, both now in the hospital. This happened outside the E.L. Haynes Public Charter School in Petworth. We do not yet know anything about the motive or suspects. D.C. police say they are looking for two.
Let me stop you right there. I own properties in Petworth. Right? I'm going to give you the deeper story about this school. Here's where I'll start. See this? You see this? You see this? Row house property values in Petworth, Washington, D.C. And Petworth, again, is probably the cheapest neighborhood in Northwest DC. Northwest is official Washington, D.C. That's where if you say I live in Northwest, the white people say, okay, decent enough. You might not be in an area where I would visit or where I would live, but you ain't in the ghetto. You get the benefit of the doubt of being in Northwest DC. That's the way it works here in DC. You say I live in Northwest, okay, cool. And so you can see the row houses. These are connected homes. You see these? You see these homes? They're all connected. The ones on the corner are even worth more. That's why the range is so broad, from 600 to 900. The houses on the corner will go for like $1 million if it's renovated. Row house property values in Petworth, Washington, D.C. generally range from $600,000 to $900,000, with a median, that means half below, half above, $800,000. Prices vary based upon renovation status, size, and features like parking. I have 4 parking spots in Petworth. Those parking spots are probably worth $1,000 a month, just the parking. Because DC is very, very good at enforcing parking tickets. I've shown you that this black man had $6,400 in tickets alone, looking for a place to rent. He wants them to live in the ghetto because they don't write tickets in the ghetto. This is how it works. And so this is Petworth. And here is a school, and we'll listen to it again.
Two people were shot this morning outside a school in Washington, D.C. An adult and a teenager shot, both now in the hospital. This happened outside the E.L. Haynes Public Charter School in Petworth. We do not yet know anything about the motive or suspects. D.C. police say
they know nothing. They know nothing.
They are looking for 2 people. I talked to a nanny who says she was outside.
Did you hear that? You know what a nanny costs in Washington, D.C.? See, these are the subtle clues that no one is paying attention to. You know what a nanny? Listen. Medicaid and DCFS and all this stuff for children, that sets the baseline of child care. That's the baseline. So if the government is paying $1,500 a month for children to go to daycare, that's the baseline. Nobody goes lower than the government. So here's some people here with a nanny. That's private care, which means they're paying above what the government is paying. Got it?
Annie, who says she was outside walking with the kids she cares for when she saw the moments leading up to this. She saw a group of young people gathered, 3 walking and 1 on a scooter. She says then she heard...
All the code words. Y'all got it, right? All the code words.
4 to 5 gunshots and the group scattered, and that is when she rushed with the kids back inside the house.
I was so shocked because of that. I need to bring back.
Wait a minute. Wait, is that a Spanish nanny? No way. No.
I need to bring back the
kids. There's a Spanish nanny. No way. This is something unbelievable here. All these black unemployed bulls that speak English as a first language. That's their only language. And here comes a Spanish woman nannying to yups in Washington, D.C. Somebody said Filipino. Have me, it doesn't even matter. Have mercy. Did I lose it? What the fuck happened? What? Here it is.
And a teenager shot, both now in the hospital.
I was so shocked because of.
She Filipino? Somebody said she's Filipino. Is she Filipino? Yeah, it was a robbery. They may explain what the robbery is about shortly.
I need to bring back the kids for safety because I don't know where it comes from, the gun.
Oh, I see the Filipino. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
The shot.
Now, if you look at gun violence data from 2014 to 2023, there were 35 shootings within a 500-yard radius around this school. One of the staffers I talked to here who was inside the building says, unfortunately, lockdowns have become pretty common and they are all too used to it.
Now, let me explain to you what's going on here. The name of this school is called E.L. Haynes. You see the property values, $69,000. If I were to show you the demographics, Petworth, DC demographics, right? By race, 2020. Let's just go by 2020 census. And so what you see is that Petworth demographics are 35% Black, 30% white, 26% Hispanic. That's in 2026. That's in 2020. And what's the latest that they may have? I mean, maybe a mid-century census, 2025, 35%. Now let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at 2000. In 2000, the neighborhood was predominantly Black or African American with a small percentage of white. That's in 2000. 25 years later, or 20 years later, in 2020, the Blacks are majority minority. And as such, the property values have increased, to reflect the population. Johnny Boys, the guy you see on the stream, he used to live next to a Hispanic. The Hispanic is still there, but Johnny Boy, his mother's dead, the voucher is gone. He's homeless now. The Hispanics are still living there. This is the face of gentrification in the inner cities. The Blacks, more or less, squatted in areas where people didn't want to live, dilapidated the properties, and other people saw investment opportunities. That's what was happening here. And so if you look at something like this, these areas, Harry Wardman was a prominent 20th century real estate developer who heavily shaped the Petworth neighborhood by building thousands of signature red brick row houses featuring elevated front porches during the 20s and 30s. Well, who do you think he built those for? It was designed to foster a tight-knit community. Who do you think he built these homes for? This is what the easy bands of the world, the people that don't see these things, they think that, hey, I live in Hoover, it's a majority, there are a lot of Black people live here, but it wasn't designed for you. just a mere 20 years ago, there were hardly any blacks that lived there. Now that you blacks are moving there, the white people are moving out. They're moving even further away from the easy bands of the world. There's no way a white person with money wants to live next door to easy bands. Just no way. All the big hats and shit. There's just no way. I'm not even saying they want to live next to a jungle, but definitely not an easy band. The people don't want to live around these type of people. And this is what the Latino woman is saying that, hey, I don't even work around these blacks. So it's very devastating for the blacks because I keep asking the question, well, where do they fit in? If they don't work, if they can't work here, they can't work there, where do they fit in? And so back to the Facebook marketplace and to show you the erosion of trust in America. Now, why does this lady want to do a face-to-face over a damn $50 bed? This is a $50 bed. Why would someone want to scam her out of a $50 bed? Well, part of it is that they're PayPal-like scams where if you pay as a business, you can demand your money back even after receiving the item. And this is why many of the people on Facebook prefer cash, because the trust in America has been so eroded that you can't even handle business for trivial items like a used bed frame. Well, she wants me to come all the way out to Arlington, where I could have easily used the Uber service. And this happened to me over and over today. And I'll show you some more examples. And I'm just looking for a bed. Here's another example of another person counseling with me. Strictly over a bed. Strictly over me wanting to use an Uber service as opposed to coming to meet them directly. And here's another example. I want to make sure I get the full exchange here. And here it is. I'm going to put it on Twitter. And here's another example. Again, me trying to buy a bed off of Facebook Marketplace, and the lack of trust that is pervasive throughout American society, even when I'm offering to pay up front. Here's the message. Let me do it like this. So I want to buy a $40 bed. This is 40 measly little dollars. Not a lot of money. And so I at this point, I told the lady, hey, I'll pay you up front for the bed, and I'll send a service to pick it up. All I need you to do is just put it outside where the guy can easily come and pick it up. Again, Uber courier. This is a full-size bed, metal platform, 14-inch. It'll fit in the trunk or at least the back seat of a car. And I say to her, it's really no different than Uber. Overlooked the misspelling. Except they pick up packages, not people. Right? You see this? If I put it outside, people will either take it or trash it. Again, low trust society. I have a lot of packing to do. This lady's leaving the area. If you like to buy it, please come and take it. I say to her, hey, I'll schedule an Uber. I'll send you his progress by map. You can put it out when close. I can pay you now for the bed. She said, nah, fuck that. I don't trust you. This is the low trust society that is forming on the ground. But even the most minimal of transactions, no one trusts each other. A $40 bed where there's nothing to lose. If I didn't pay her at all for it, what if she lost? $40? But I was willing to pay her up front for it. And she still did not trust me because, again, PayPal allows you to claw your money back from someone that sold something to you if you pay for it under the designation of business as opposed to friends and family. So these are two examples actually of what it's like doing business in a low trust society where you can't even buy something as simple as a bed without people not trusting you. Anyway, I found it to be very, very interesting. The get over attitude. Oh, so which brings me back to the E.L. Haynes Public School. And let me see if they explain it here. E.L. Haynes Public School in Petworth. And here is an explanation of what happened. Let's see. Let me find a more concise article. This may be it, right? This may give you a better idea of what happened. We'll read the article. So basically, it was a Facebook marketplace sale transaction where they were selling a Louis Vuitton bag. Matter of fact, let me Google that. Louis Vuitton bag. And so the person robbed him for the Louis Vuitton bag. And this made Shamari Stone. Yeah, this is a reporter here in D.C.
Now let's head to Northwest DC. Police are looking into a shooting near a school. Investigators tell us a man and a teenager were shot just before noon today at E.L. Haynes Public Charter School in the Petworth neighborhood. That's where we find our Rafael Sanchez Cruz tonight. So, Rafa, what are you learning about what happened here?
Yeah, Lorenzo, look, a spokesperson for E.L. Haynes Public Charter School tells us there were no students here on campus when shots rang out. We don't have much information from DC police about what led up to the shooting, but we did see investigators concentrating in two areas. They placed crime markers at the front door of the public charter school. They also placed some along 7th Street Northwest. Police say they got the call just before noon. They found a man and a teenager who had been shot. No details on ages or whether it was a teenage boy or a teenage girl. The same spokesperson for the school says the two wounded approached staff members outside of the building for help, but she also said they have no relationship to the school. The employees provided first aid before emergency crews arrived on scene, and the school was placed on lockdown according to the spokesperson. Both victims were taken to the hospital conscious and breathing. According to police, investigators are searching for two people who fled the scene riding a Lime scooter. A shooting in the middle of the day here caught neighbors by surprise. At this point, I've heard several neighbors tell me the same thing. This type of thing does not happen in our neighborhood. Listen to what one neighbor had to say. He didn't want to go on camera.
I'm going to say a surprise, but more than anything, it's real irregular. Okay? I mean, I can come out and sit on my porch all day and there's no issues. Okay? Except for the heat. But like I said, this incident right here is kind of weird, but things do happen in this day.
We're told only a handful of staff members were inside the building. That's, of course, because summer session has ended here at this public charter school. Live in Petworth, I'm Rafael Sanchez.
All right, so that's Petworth. And so what's happening here is that they probably were performing, engaging in like a safe space, public Facebook marketplace. But what has happened is that and I'll show it to you. Let's see. Let's see if this gives us some context. And so here it is. This is the school where the shooting took place in the area not far from my property where it was Again, in 2000, majority black. For E.L. Haynes seniors, gentrification is part of the curriculum. So what I'm explaining to you is that the white people, back in the day during the public charter school movement and stuff like that, they were able to commandeer schools and turn them into charter schools and make them worthy of sending their children there to avoid the private school tuition. And this is one of the schools that they were able to take over, a neighborhood school. And it turned into a charter school. And you'll see how gentrification is leaving public schools behind. And this is probably a discussion of this school, the E.L. Haynes, and we'll find it right here. Instead, you say neither neighborhood school, though, is indicative of Petworth's. This is U.S. News. Neither neighborhood school, though, is indicative of Petworth's population at large, home to a growing number of young middle-class families. Neither school is attracting many of the white students living nearby. You see this? And again, this article was written when was this article written? 2015. And here's what the row homes look like in Petworth. Anyway, so in 2015, there weren't many whites at the E.L. Haynes Public School. Now there are. Instead, E.L. Haynes, a Petworth charter school that serves students of basically the same age as the other elementary schools, boasts more racially and economically diverse students. This is solely because the whites were able to take over the school. The charter school movement, which began in the 90s as an educational reform effort that uses public money to fund privately run schools. And for the conspiracy theorists amongst you, the lady who led the movement in D.C. was this lady, the lady who's married to, remember the basketball player Kevin, what's his name, Kevin Johnson? He played for the Phoenix Suns or whatever. She was married to this guy, a basketball player. Yeah, she became engaged to Kevin Johnson, the 55th mayor of San Francisco. And she was also in charge of DC schools. Can Michelle Reese save DC schools? And this is just one of many articles written about her. This was all the way back in 2007. 6 chiefs have tried to fix DC schools in the past 10 years and failed. Now comes a 37-year-old Korean-American married to Kevin Johnson, engaged to Kevin Johnson from Toledo, Ohio, with no experience running a school system, who's convinced she can succeed. And in doing so, she allowed the parents in the neighborhood, like the E.L. Haynes Charter School, to more or less take over the school. And again, their goal was to prevent having to pay the private school tuition. And so that is the short of how that all came about. Anyway, so back to a couple other things I want to cover. Let's see. Windows. All right. Go to my inbox. Who is this calling? Some black calling, probably. Who the hell is my phone? Who the hell is my phone? Let's see. You know what? Let me call Pastor Manny, by the way. I've been reaching out to him. He said he was gonna call me back. I'm calling right now.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right, let me pull this up. Oh, yeah, I do want to cover this. All right, let me cover this. This is interesting right here.
I have said this my entire adult life, and that is this here. And I'm saying this, and the reason I showed that cost of Howard for a reason. And again, this is separate from what we just talked about, but I do think this has to be said, and that is, I've seen a lot of folk talk about this is my dream school. We discussed this last year when I was a parent complaining about the cost of tuition at Hampton being so high, but I'm like, but you knew that going in.
Look, I was telling CT earlier today. Would you, if you had a black child, would you send your son or daughter to HBCU in Baltimore? No. If you had a black son or daughter, would you send him to Clark Atlanta in Southwest Atlanta? No. How about some bumfuck university down in Jackson State or Tuskegee where there's no job center? Maybe even an alum, but other than that, no. Howard benefits because it's in Washington, D.C. There's a large government job center, and it's probably in the safest, most affluent black neighborhood in all of the country. That is why Howard is able to extract $64,000 a year from his students, because they know that their parents know that they're going to be safe there. They're willing to pay the premium. This is the black tax all the way up into education, into the educational realm. The black colleges are largely in the ghettos. Stillman, Spelman, Morehouse. Howard isn't. If you look at the housing and property values around Howard, you see Howard is in the LaDroit Park property values. This is where Jesse Jackson lived and all these people. And you see the property values here. Average around $776,000. This is Howard's. This is the neighborhood that surrounds Howard. There's Whole Foods. There's no Whole Foods. I wouldn't imagine there's a Whole Foods around Coppin State or Towson or wherever the hell these other black colleges are. But Howard, it has it all.
Say this, and if folk don't like it, we'll then deal with it. And that is this. The reality is, Howard may be your dream school. It's private. Spelman might be your dream school. It's private. Morehouse might be your dream school. It's private. I can name many other private HBCUs. Hampton, private. Those schools cost
Tuskegee is private too, by the way.
Cost an incredible amount of money. And I would say to any student, and I see
the guy to the left of Roland, or to my left, to Roland's right, is a professor at Howard. We showed him on the stream the other night. He's been there like 18 years, 28 years.
I say this to my nieces and nephews.
Both of them are professors, actually.
You will go to the school that my money can afford to send you to. And I think we got to have some real conversations as parents, as aunts and uncles with children in what I call unrealistic expectations. Because, and what I mean by that is the cost of tuition now, if I take Howard University at $64,000, and again, I'm talking about people
Nigga, that's
who do
amazing.
not have full ride scholarships or that's covering 75, 80%. I'm saying if you are a parent of a child and that child really wants to go to Howard, 64, and then remember, 64,000 times 4. That's $250,000. Right. We haven't factored in travel back and forth. That's $250,000. Pell Grant is $6,000 4 years is $24,000. You still left with $220,000. What I would say what I will say this, and I don't care what anyone says. I would not tell a parent to go into a massive amount of debt to send your child to their dream school if there is a state HBCU where you are. That's far cheaper. And again, I understand.
He can't go as far as I would go. Most of these blacks don't even need to go to college. As proof of that, you can see some of the videos of the parents and people complaining that they can't afford it. I mean, these people are broke as hell. Look at this woman. I showed her last night. She's broke as hell.
I'm so sorry. I know. Her balance is practically zero. Her scholarship came in today. She only owes $1,400. I told them I would pay this now.
I'm Jay Lawson on the campus.
So what's happening? You know, as I explained last night, what's happening is I'll play it again. I'll play it so you can understand. Let me refresh it.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. Her balance is practically zero. Her scholarship came in today. She only owes $1,400.
So you heard it say my daughter only owes $1,400. Okay. Well, why didn't you just pay the $1,400? She ain't got it. She ain't got it. But they kicked her out of school because Howard is not willing to finance her. They're not willing to give her an opportunity to pay me back later. They don't trust this black. This black will be using her meal ticket, eating 3 meals a day, running her air conditioner all day. And then what about my $1,400? She said she would pay. Why you ain't pay it then? She ain't got it. She ain't got it. How much money you think this sister gal making? Look at her. Her daughter, Howard. You heard what the Hispanic woman said. No blacks work with me. No bull mammies work with me. How much you think this black woman making right here? 75? 100,000 maybe? But she can't float this kind of tuition and live her life. She probably got a nice car, nice house. She can't float that extra $1,400. And this is again what I said, that black bull that took money out of her household to put me down from a panel, she's probably just like this bull in the same financial position, crying if her financial aid package for her daughter won't come through.
I told them I would pay this now.
I'm Jay Lawson on the campus of Howard University because over 500 students have been unenrolled at Howard's incoming freshman.
But you know who wasn't unenrolled? Leonard Roy's son. The Leonard Roy sons of the world. Why? Because he got VA money because his daddy was a McNamara's moron. So Howard said, you know what? We know we're going to get that. That's some guaranteed, dedicated revenue right there. We know we're going to get our money from Leonard Roy's son. He's McNamara's moron. He ain't going to major in anything anyway. We'll let him come on and carry a balance, and we'll finance that or subsidize him to the government pays. But these other blacks, let your mammy pony up and we'll give you a refund check when your money comes through. That's how it works.
Class. Now, the vice president of enrollment says that basically the tuition had to be paid 50% on the account in order for the students to secure their enrollment.
See? That's scholarship be damn. Howard said we need half our money up front. We got to keep the lights on. We got to keep the gas and water and the professors paid. So we need our money up front. We don't have a lot of money. We need money up front.
Enrollment. However, parents say that the emails have been confusing, frustration. A lot of parents have come up to the administration building offering to pay the remaining balance of what they believe is left on the accounts, and the administration.
These lying-ass blacks scraping up all of their savings. For what? For what? To send their little child to school to major in what? To major in what? To major in what? Political science, social science, communication, journalism, and health. $64,000 a year for a school primarily dominated by women to major in this bullshit. And you got blacks crying, begging out on the street. I want to send my child to Howard so she can learn some biology and shit and be a CNA like JP. Just go to the fucking CNA school. Be cheap.
Disciplines, I understand majors, I understand all of those things. But I do think part of the conversation when we talk about college, and I'm not just talking about HBCUs, need everybody to understand, I went to Jack Case High School, Mass School of Communications. I was the #1 student there. I could have gone from Yates and gone to Syracuse, University of Missouri, Northwestern, the places that these top communication programs. But this is what I knew. My brother was a year ahead of me at Texas A&M. My sister was right behind me. My parents were going to have 3 kids in college at the same time. There was no way I was going to be able to go to Syracuse in Syracuse, New York, or Northwestern in Chicago, in Evanston, outside next to basically Chicago, or go to the University of Missouri, which is I think is Columbia. I forgot where they are, and be able to afford to go there all 4 years. I had to make a financial decision for my parents and me, and not what was Roland's dream school. And I know some people that USC is their dream school, Greg. It's $80,000 a year. I know some people, Larry, NYU is their dream school. I think NYU is $120,000 a year.
See, what Roland doesn't understand, because I'm a landlord here in DC, what he doesn't understand is that the people that are going to NYU, a lot of these people are international money, or people that their families have money. $1,400 is nothing. If you're sending your child to school in New York or DC, that's nothing. MFB went to George Washington. There's pennies to these people. Hell, they're not even going to college to get a job like these blacks at Howard.
And so what I do hope that what this conversation spurs for parents of seniors and juniors and sophomore and freshmen is that we need to be sitting down and really talking about the cost of college and what the impact is going to be on parents and others, because these are real numbers. And we're not even talking about if your child then chooses to go to graduate school.
That's right. That's right. You're talking about, CT called them sharecroppers. And I'm not going to say they're far from that. You see that black woman crying, like, what the hell does she do with the first 40 years of her life? Sharecropping for the most part. And now she sent her daughter off to school because she had probably a government job. And she said, you go off and be, whatever you want to be. No, in reality, lady, you're a sharecropper. You birthed a sharecropper. Build on that. Cast down your buckets where you are. But this woman think that she's a smart, or her daughter is a smarty-arty, comparing herself to other people. It just does not work like
Larry.
that.
Yeah, Roland, this is a really complicated issue, and we need a whole show to really drill down on issues relating to higher education.
The problem for these blacks right here is that they bread is buttered by educating these dumbass blacks. This black would not be on Roland Martin if there were no professor jobs at Howard, and he doesn't even have the capacity to be on the back of a trash truck. So what would he be doing? Where does he fit in the ecosystem short of this government largesse? As I told you a long time ago, I told you a while back, Howard University, look at this. This is why Howard considers itself the capstone. For those of you that are familiar with Howard University, this is the long welfare arm of the government right here. Look, it's the only HBCU, maybe one of the few universities in total that receive direct federal funding through an annual congressional appropriation managed by United States Department of Education, making it the only federally chartered private university of its kind in the United States. This direct support assists with academic programs, endowment matching, and the Howard University Hospital. And this is what I'm trying to explain to you, that Howard is not a university. All these dumb fucking blacks sending their children to this $64,000 government op. They are the carcass that the Rick Childs and the John Galts and everybody else feeds on. I've already explained to you. Look at this. Look at this shit right here. I'm going in on Howard tonight because Howard's making me a lot of money, to be honest with you. What's the name of that town? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. See, I had Howard parents calling me. I am the urban landlord. I had Howard parents calling me all day. Look where Howard is housing his students. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you the uninitiated, that's Prince George's County. Uh-oh. You mean tell me I sent my baby to school to go live in Washington, D.C. in a safe neighborhood, and you're going to send him out to PG County to live? So now I got to come up with more money to make sure my son could live in D.C. because D.C. is safer than PG County. That's true. I just had a Howard student move in recently. He didn't want to live in Hyattsville. He couldn't afford to live in Columbia Heights. Remember what the white lady said? Remember the video, The Two Faces of D.C.? If you remember that video, she said, hey, I live right around Howard. It's $2,400 a month in rent. That is what Howard has done. But Howard has sold off most of his real estate to make money. And in doing so, they sacrifice their students. I'll show you. Here it is right here.
So the winter you have to pay as much. No, in the winter.
Listen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, usual stuff just works.
Government, I'm assuming nonprofit government.
I used to work for the government. Now I work for nonprofit.
Oh, okay. That's typically kind of the pathways here, either one way or the other, nonprofit to government. How do you like DC from Texas?
I really like DC. Like I want to stay here. I'm not looking to move away.
What makes you like DC?
I think just like over the years I've found a really good group of friends and people.
Okay. So what do you want to see her do? If she could do one thing in the city, what would you like to see Janice George do?
I think she's focused on like affordable housing.
Affordable housing?
Yeah, affordable like cost of living for people, for everybody.
And I'm guessing you live around here?
I rent around here.
Is it very expensive?
Yes, I mean like I live in Pleasant Plains, so
okay, by Howard. Okay.
I live in a small
You heard that? By Howard. This woman lives right by Howard. Now, I want you to listen to how much she pays in rent. This is what these poor-ass bull men sending their children to Howard got to compete with. Or send their children to live in Prince George's County. They ain't trying to send their children out there. So they got to compete with this white woman here. The reason why I asked her, what's your path here in D.C.? Nonprofit to the government or government to the nonprofit? This is how it works in D.C.
To make it work.
Yeah. For my audience, what is a small apartment in Northwest Pleasant Plains cost?
Yeah.
This is right by Howard. Listen to what she's about to say.
Our rent is $1,800 a month.
And
these niggas at Howard can't pay that. They can't pay that. They can't pay that. That's why Howard putting their black ass. It's as simple as that right there. So let me show you something It's a boom for the landlords here in DC. And I'll show it to you this. Look at this.
August 2025, when Donald Trump decided out of nowhere, right, just woke up one day and said, you know what, crime in DC is out of control. I'm going to deploy the National Guard to Washington, DC.
Oh, it is.
On Capitol Hill tonight says President Trump's deployment of the National Guard in D.C. comes with a massive price tag, and Democrats warning that keeping them here will cost even more. Upside's Tom Fitzgerald live on the Hill tonight with the stunning numbers. Fitz.
Well, good evening. Democrats say the deployment of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. has cost $300 million so far and could double to more than $600 million if this continues to the 1 year mark in August. Also, this report claims that there has been no measurable public safety outcome from the deployment. This 14-page report coming from Democrats of the Senate Homeland Committee saying that the National Guard mission has been to combat crime. However, they say the mission has not been clearly defined, leaving many Guard members to simply walk around blocks of D.C. Now, a lot of people also say that they've seen this as well, and they're concerned that it might be blurring the difference between local policing and military operation. Fox 5 heard mixed opinions from folks today.
We came out of the subway. There were 8 National Guard troops. Do we really need that many?
We're spending it on us to protect us. It makes sense. If we're spending it on us to protect us.
Yeah, it is a lot of money, and you know, at least I wasn't here during the snowstorm out of the country, but I hope they at least help pick up the snow.
Now, crime is down in D.C. according to.
Is it, you know, it's so disgusting what that black just said. Listen to what this black just said.
The snowstorm out of the country, but I hope they at least help pick up the snow.
Now, basically, he's saying the D.C. government need help from the National Guard just to pick up snow. These blacks are so incompetent.
Now, crime is down in D.C. according to D.C. police in 2025. Homicides dropped 32%. Violent crime is down 29%. And carjackings, which spiked in 2023, are now down 43%. Now, Virginia Senator Mark Warner said today, though, that he's concerned about a pattern he sees of Republicans interfering with local.
All right, enough about that. Here's the bigger, for the landlord news, here's what's interesting. 7 seals of the world.
Troops out of temporary housing in DC hotels and put them in apartments. The apartment finding company Placemaker has won a $292 million contract to house up to 2,000 guardsmen deployed to DC. The Guard claims it will be nearly half the cost of the short-term hotels.
So anyway, so what Trump is going to do is pump $330 million into the short-term apartment market. That's where I sit. Now, I won't be renting to any National Guards people, but they will serve to crowd out some of the blacks that the National Guard were once in the hotels. Now they're going to enter the apartment short-term market space, which is where many of the blacks find themselves, which will ultimately increase demand, which is a boom for someone like John Galt. You know, I have an interesting call I want to play for you, and I'm hoping that we can get this lady up on the channel at some point. Let's see if I can play this. Where do I have it? Oh, if anyone wants to hit the link while I'm looking for this video, feel free. Paste. There you go. Where is it? It's a young lady called me today. Where is she? Where is that video? see. Anyway, so I talked to a young lady today, and she was is this it? Let me see if this is it. Let's see. Oh shit. That's not it. All right. I had a damn phone call with a young lady. Let's see if this is it. Oh shit. Whatever the fuck. I know I had this call. Anyway, so I took a phone call from a young lady today, and she's a budding landlord. She's young, and she was telling me that she wants to get some advice from me about landlording and stuff like that. So I said, hey, we should do it on my stream. And I think she said she owns maybe 2 properties or something like that. And one of the things she says, I want to be able to buy some properties in Northwest DC. I said, well, you probably need to first learn how to deal with the poor people before you move on to the more affluent people. Gain some experience in dealing with, the poor man's problems first. So anyway, hopefully we'll get her on the channel, and we'll see how it all works out there. Let me see. There's a couple clips I want to play. Give me a second. I don't know if you guys know, Be Brave was up on Taz's channel today. Maybe I'll show that. Copy address. Yeah, Brave was up on Taz's show today, and I think he pulled like a little hat trick on Taz, to be honest with you. I think this is it. Yeah. This is Brave and Taz. See when Brave comes up towards it, and yeah, I got Brave. All right, here's Brave and Taz.
In Jackson County, in Alabama, man is behind facing.
But that's a hell. Fuckers out here stealing fire trucks, though. What do you want? Well, what the hell? That's a hell of a hello.
My nigga Be Brave.
I want to compliment you. This is an excellent idea, Taz. Okay. I'm not just saying that, Taz. You the voice from John Holt. What's your name? Be brave and think. Yeah, I know your voice. I've been on CT's channel for 4 years. I've been on CT's channel for 4 years talking about blacks ripping the shit out of inner cities.
Now, what's interesting about this is, listen to what Taz said.
You the voice from John Holt.
And listen to what Be Brave correcting him.
What's your name? Be brave and think. Yeah, I know your voice. I've been on CT's channel for 4 years. I've been on CT's channel for 4 years talking about blacks ripping the shit out of inner cities. Yeah, stupid shit. Well, you can call it stupid, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to compliment you. Can we talk?
Be Brave does a masterful job here. I don't even know if Taz, even now, he may not comprehend what Brave is doing right here. Listen to this.
Got to get all nasty with each other or what, man? I mean, you can say what you're listening. No, what I'm saying is this, I think this is a very valuable. I'm not kidding. I've said to CT, you need to do white crime so that we can get to the bottom of what race is doing the most destruction to the country. Get to the bottom. We know what race doing that, though. No, we don't know what race is doing the most destruction to the country. We're at a disagreement. If you really showed these white crimes in the large number that they exist, it would be the type of crimes that this group commits and the type of crimes that this group commits. And then you could get to determine who wants to live where. Nobody's trying to move into black inner city neighborhoods, and everybody wants to move where white people live in spite of these filthy ass white crimes.
Well, most people don't know that 70% of all crime is committed by a white person in America. So there's a heavy emphasis on violent crime. But if we start talking just crime, crime is you know, it's committed in majority by white people.
Yes, that's why I would say thank you for that. Let's say violent crime. That's what I always say. Violent street crime is what's stopping people in the inner cities from conducting and living and peace. And I'm talking about black people are the biggest victims of violent inner city street crimes, Taz. If you look up the gun violence memorials across the country, you would see that it's not white people that are the victims of these kids shooting in the streets. When random children and random people get shot in their homes and their cars and in their yards, it's not white people dying. It's black people dying.
Well, I think it's easy to diminish the conversation to it's black people dying, which is why I'm showing the White Fatigue series that it's not just black people dying. A white woman will shoot her husband. A white man will shoot his son. So it's not just black people dying. It's the propaganda that we see that promotes the idea that it's just black people. It's just not black people.
That's the value of you doing this. And so we can get into who's committing the crimes and where. White people are killing their wives in their homes. Black teenagers are shooting up their streets. There's a big difference between white trash killing their wife and 3 kids shooting up a whole neighborhood. There's a big difference in the damage that's done to the greater society. And therefore, you got proof. Hold it, you got proof of that.
Well, the difference would be that those are teens. You can expect teens to make stupid mistakes. You shouldn't expect that from an adult married woman, for him to unalive the wife. That's what you don't expect. You expect teens to do stupid shit.
But it still boils down to the extreme difference between what is tearing up the ability of the public to conduct their business. Regardless of the age of the human, it's what crimes are stopping from people from conducting their business. And the guy that kills his wife, he's gone. He's up. He's out of here. The teens that are shooting up the streets, they take down 10 people with them, not in murder and actual murders, but in stress and fear.
That's not true.
Oh,
that's not true. Because because when you start talking about taking down numbers, for example, we can move outside of the realm of crime and just simply deal with who the politicians are, who runs these cities, who's in control of passing laws and getting shit done. Are all white people, and most of the time they're not getting their jobs done. They're the ones who.
You're saying white people are running the black cities?
Absolutely. They're the governors. They're the governors of the state. The cities are within a state. Cities aren't autonomous.
Thank
the governors.
Yes, Taz, you're a wealth of information because you see, I've been trying to tell people that for 4 years. That it's elite white people that are setting the black people up on themselves. Thank you. That's what I've been trying to tell blacks. You've got white people making it so you're black.
Listen to you though, bro. Black people ain't gonna listen to you.
Oh, I know. Taz, I don't expect black people to listen to me. I just expect to speak truth where it's available to do so. I don't expect people to listen to me. Come on, man. No, my point is if you've got white people setting in motion laws that enable black teens to continue shooting up their neighborhoods, that should be looked into, but it's not. Everybody wants to stop and blame the black politicians. I'm going, no, go up the food chain and see who's starting shit in motion. I'm game.
Yeah, but see, like I say, it's not just it's not just violent crime. Again, when I look at these videos and I see what's happening to these little girls and little boys and whatnot in these schools and shit, there's not enough emphasis on these teachers and what they're doing inside these school systems. It's easier to say somebody shot somebody. Some of these other topics, they get buried because white people are the ones doing it.
If okay, even if that was the case, it's still, this is what determines the bottom line. Where do people want to live? They claw their way into white neighborhoods. All of these white pieces of shit that you're showing continuously proves what I've been trying to say.
Where's that data coming from?
Because I wasn't speaking that long. Please, you gotta let me finish. I'll be quick.
But you're not finna finish that shit. I want you to tell me where you're getting this data from that denotes black people trying to get to white neighborhoods. Where's that coming from?
You're telling me that historically blacks don't want to move around white people in large numbers?
No, I'm telling you that is a political agenda that you've been taught, mostly from Democrats, but then Republicans also attach themselves to it. What statistical data, what interview, what conversation have you ever heard where black people say we want to move around white people? This ain't Chaotic Truth Channel where we just capitulate to whiteness. I don't want to live around white people. Now, if white people live around me, so be it. But the desire is not to just live around white people. And I venture to say most black people are not going to say, I want to live around white people. They want to live in a safe community, but not because white people are there.
Correct. Thanks again. That's exactly what I've said. I said when black people say they want to live around white people, it's not because let's live around those nice white people. Just what you said. I've said it 100 times for 4 years. They're saying they want to live around white people because of safety. Thank you. I agree. And I've heard 100, if not 150 or 1,000 blacks say it over these years. They move around white because it's safe.
You're making a mistake in that, though. You're attaching safety to white people, and that there's a detachment there. Black people want safety. They don't want to live next to white people. They just want to be safe. If a white person happens to live there, so be it. But the desire is not to live around white people. That's cap. You can't show me that.
Oh, no. There's blacks all over the YouTube streets saying that they live around white people for safety, Taz. You know that. Even if you want to call it,
those are people who just want to financially, no. Those are people who just want to financially benefit. I'm talking about in real life, in real time, how I'm using statistical data to make my point. What have you seen statistically that shows black flight to white neighborhoods? There's nothing that shows that. It's just a talking point.
No, it's not a talking.
This is why I think Brave should have asked Taz, does he live in a black neighborhood? It would have blew the whole thing open right here.
It's not even me needing statistics. It's a known fact. Blacks in large numbers want to live around white people because white neighborhoods are safer. So it's not even that complicated. I mean, okay, look.
It's very complicated because you're saying things you can't prove. So what I can do is go back and show you on multiple levels in multiple decades, black people say they do not want to live around white people. Black people openly, vocally stating this. So you're saying the opposite without the ability to prove it.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I guess we'll just say, put an impasse there. But I'm saying, Taz, keep this up because it's going to be good material for me in the future. It's going to be excellent material for me because you're proving what I've been saying to people. Filthy ass white people don't make it to where you can't live around them. They're just filthy, stinking animals in their homes. Black people are shooting up their streets. You can't live around people that shoot up their streets, carjack, mass loot, and tear up streets. You can't live around.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm saying it sounds good in terms of like white person speaking, but in reality, that's not the case. Again, it's situational, and what we find in this White Petite series, you'll find white people involved in just as much or more crime.
Why don't I put in the chat earlier, Taz, show a bunch of white kids carjacking, show a bunch of white kids shooting street shoot out at each other's. Get that on video.
Yeah, I got you. It's coming. I mean, we've already done it. That's the Gilbert
No, you
Goons.
got to do it a lot more. I mean, if you do that, you'll be really providing some information. And what I'm
Right, folks. Last week, Tennessee State
I can
University
go
had
back
to
over a
explain.
week and get 50 clippings. You'll have to go back 10 years.
No, I don't.
We'll find out. Well, I'm just complimenting you. I'm up here
As long as you know, but as long as you know, so you'll understand. Every white fatigue video I ever do is within 1 year. 99 stories within 1 year. If it's a broad topic, I'll tell you, but no, we just 1 year just to prove a point.
Tad, you had somebody in your chat bring up mass shootings. There's been 220 of them, 30 of them this year. Over 120 of them are unsolved. How many whites do you think did those mass shootings that are unsolved? How many whites do you think did them? 230 this year so far. That's over one a day.
We have to deal with the definition of what a mass shooting is, because the original definition of a mass shooting is a person that's just randomly shooting people. See, y'all want to change the definition and turn it into neighborhood crimes, when in reality it was the white guy who shot random people. That's what a mass shooting used to be. Now you're saying multiple people got shot.
What is the definition now?
Multiple people get shot. So it's a mass shooting.
It's four or more shot or deleted in a single incident, right?
That's two. It's two.
Huh?
It's two. It's multiple.
The definition of mass shooting right now is 4 or more. Taz, look it up.
And again, I'm trying to make sure you understand. There's a difference between a person into a crowd and a person that is purposely going into, let's say, a supermarket and shooting random people. Those are two different situations. And most of the people that conducted mass shootings that were white was doing it because of race.
Both result in very innocent people dying. So I don't get the differential.
I agree.
Well, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you want to go by mass, the definition of mass shootings is 4 or more. There's 230 this year. There's over 110 of them unsolved, no suspects in custody. That means people who can shoot at a person because he's an ops and don't care about hitting 5 others. There's 130 of those people loose in black neighborhoods.
No, there's 130 of those people loose in America. But again, that goes back to the justice system ability to inability to stop the commission of these crimes. At some point, you can keep saying what neighborhood it happened in, blah, blah, blah. But what is the point in having police if they can't stop the shit? So, some of these things is like,
no, Taz, it can be stopped.
No, it can be stopped. No, it can't be stopped.
You got white people that are stopping it from being stopped.
You got white people that's doing it. What are you talking about?
No, you don't have white people shooting 230 mass shootings, Taz.
What? Are you serious?
I am. I want to know how many.
Wait. I want to ask you a question now. You don't think I can show you 200 white people shooting people in the last year? You don't think I can show you that?
What's that?
Do you think I can show you 200 shootings of white people in the past year? That's not difficult.
Yeah, that's because they'll be in their homes. I'm saying in the streets is where people are happening to run from.
In the streets too. Yeah, in the streets. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the streets.
Yes. If you can show white people shooting up streets 4 and 5 at a time, graduations, ceremonies, funerals. If you got that, you really need to bring it out. I would.
Oh yeah. Well, we've been bringing it out. I mean, all you gotta do is keep paying attention. But yeah, we keep bringing it out. Every episode has shooters in it. And like I say, it's like you don't.
Again, this is why Brave should have really hammered home. Like, what kind of shooters are these people? These people are shooting people in their homes, not out in the street, driving by, innocent bystanders, shooting children, stuff like that.
Acknowledge the things that are happening when these white people shooting at gas stations, and we was talking about bikers the other day. Like, yeah, every day some white people shooting somebody. I don't know how you can ignore it.
I'm not, but it's not every day in the streets. It's every day in a home. It's every day some white person gets angry at another hillbilly in the backyard.
every day in the streets, white people are shooting each other.
Well,
Yeah.
not quite. Not quite.
Yes.
But
yes.
listen, Taz, listen to me. This is very valuable. You're gonna really. I hope you catch on, and I hope people start reacting to your views, because you're proving something that I've been saying. Whites do their crimes and blacks do their crimes. There's a particular one race is doing something that tears apart their homes. The other race is doing something that tears apart the cityscape of where people try to make livings, ride buses and subways. That's what I'm saying would be very valuable. And that's what you could really, regardless of
incorrect. The only problem is it's incorrect. The only problem is it's incorrect. What you're stating is incorrect. What I'm showing in this series is that white people are affecting everyday society, the crimes they commit every day, and we just ignore it.
I think you and I would disagree, but this isn't about you and I. I'm saying if you keep showing this,
the facts disagree with you. The facts disagree with you.
I know, but I say the facts disagree with you, but that doesn't matter, Taz. What I'm saying is, please,
it do matter.
No, I got everyday shootings, the blacks upon blacks upon blacks upon blacks upon shootings upon blacks upon blacks. Every day it's in the news. I mean, what do you look up the gun violence memorial? There's no white people on that gun violence memorial. Look up any city's gun violence memorial and see who's up there. My God, it's all black people.
And I think that's your problem, though. You're looking to what white people are directing you to.
Okay. So we're
white people direct y'all to tell you to go to look at certain things to get your news. You're not going to get your own news. You don't dig out the news. See what I'm saying? I do the news.
I got you. So the point is just please keep rolling with what you're doing, Taz, because you're going to start a very valuable discussion if you keep this up and it grabs hold. I am most welcoming of it.
Yeah, no
do
doubt.
Good and keep it going. Thanks, Taz.
All right.
Talk to you later, Daddy-O.
Daddy-O.
So again, I don't think Taz knew what Be Brave just did to him. And again, this is poor white trash man up against the black goat. And the black goat did not acquit himself very well. Because Brave set him up. He said, man, keep doing what you're doing. Show all the white people to kill each other inside their homes. And then I'll be able to contrast that with the black people that are doing mass shootings in the streets. And you tell me which one is more detrimental to the progress, to civility. And I don't think Taz got what Be Brave was going there. And that's why Be Brave kept saying, hey, it's very valuable what you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Show the white people on meth, show them on drugs, show them on, shooting their family members, whatever you're doing. That's all fine. Do all that. And then you have to juxtapose that with the memorials of children that are gunned down. You know what's so interesting? Let me see if I can show you this. This is so interesting. Hopefully I can find it. Where is it? Is it up here? Is it? Shit, if I can't find it. I'm going to be mad at myself if I can't find it. Sheesh. Damn, I gotta find this. It's probably on my Twitter. Let me see. Twitter. Let's see. Damn. right here. Let's see. Anyway, in the meantime, what I will show is this. Check this out. Check this out. This is pretty interesting. Check this out right here. All right, here it goes. Check this out.
Enough, and his niche business is busier than ever.
The Spotlight on Maryland's Gary Collins investigates how an entrepreneur who has turned his life around is fighting back against squatters.
Me and my wolves, we go above and beyond to get these houses back.
Sanchez, DeAndre Lewis, or Mikey to everyone else.
They're here all day.
Is a contractor based in Maryland, but with a little bit of a twist.
I started 6 years ago when I first came home from prison in a hotel room, homeless. And from there, I had to sell drugs. I sold drugs and I bought a pickup truck and stopped selling drugs and started doing trash.
As the father of a 5-year-old daughter, Mikey says he's determined to leave the hustle of Baltimore street life behind. As his business continues to expand, one of the services he offers is something he calls Squatter King removal.
The first year, I did probably 100,000 on my pickup truck. I didn't touch no drugs no more. From there, people start calling me for demos, evictions, and all this other stuff. And 6 years later, you got this. Taking the doors, taking the windows. Get out of here. Get out of here. Police said we can't remove somebody, so lawfully, the only thing we can do is what we can do. Make somebody's life miserable. Like street justice. A lot of people call me Mr. Garrett.
Mikey says he does whatever it takes, minus physically removing or assaulting suspected squatters. Although he says there's nothing illegal in what he does in removing squatters, his services fall within a gray area.
Why people call you? So using you as an example, me and Mr. Gary not trying to go back in the streets, we will get jobs and we will get there and people wouldn't let us in that we know for a fact didn't belong there. So after a while, it becomes, we got to pay our bills too. And we kind of got fed up and just started taking the law in our own hands, not knowing it was an actual service that people needed. We just was trying to clean out the houses to do our job.
So these squatters were sitting there interrupting your cash flow and your ability to make money.
We will get at least 20 cleanouts and only can do one. Different areas in Baltimore City, and we couldn't do one. And all these people, like I said, showing fake leases, the owners not knowing who they is, the property managers not knowing who they is. So we just start taking it upon ourselves to do what we can do.
Get out my face.
Ma'am, why are you in a $2.5 million property?
For sure I ain't going to jail. I know there's been a lot of coverage around this issue. Not only do I think this will help, bring people to justice, but also I think it's a big deterrent.
After more than a year of relentless reporting by Spotlight on Maryland about alleged squatters taking over properties throughout Maryland, the Maryland General Assembly passed 2 laws to crack down. Meanwhile, Mikey says he's busier than ever after laws took effect in early July.
There's laws changing, but nothing happening. They can still do the same thing. The police show up, they want to say the same thing and just leave. And then I'm going to get a call, and then that's when I come do the crazy stuff. But there's nothing happening right now.
What's the solution to you?
So I tell the owners and landlords that, honestly, you got to take matters in your own hands. Start securing your house.
Is that a shame, though, in your opinion?
Yes, it really is. If you get assaulted or anything like that, you will think to call the police. So if your house get taken, you will think to call the police. For that not to for the solution just to not be going on is just ridiculous. Why am I paying rent? Why are you paying your bills, mortgage? Why are we paying bills if we can just go take a house?
Mikey says his base charges start at $2,000 to remove squatters with his team. He calls the Wolfpack.
Damn, I should start a business like this. I can do it just as well as he can.
That's a level 1.
Yeah.
So the highest level we ever had was like a level 6 out DC. That's when all 50 of us go out there and just a bunch of craziness go on.
Although Mikey says his squatter services are needed now more than ever, he asserts he's about to throw in the towel and hang up his tear gas cans because he fears lawmakers are encouraging lawlessness instead of meaningful crackdowns.
We've had enough.
Yes. So I've been doing what I've been doing for 6 years now. And it took me 6 years to talk to you. But where's the credit? I don't get no credit or recognition.
Right.
Me and my team, we put ourselves in harm's way.
Yeah.
And it's getting to a point, it's like,
Yeah.
that ain't even worth it. I'm not going to go out and have my best basketball game if don't nobody really care if I'm a good basketball player. So I'm just letting you know. This is my last year. After that is just regular.
My man tapping out.
Services.
We will continue to follow squatting in Maryland closely. I'm Gary Collins in Baltimore with Spotlight on.
Yeah, my man tapping out right here. He's tapping out. And again, you know, the other night in my neighborhood, this was the crime scene. And I want to show you something that was interesting. I'm going to clip this. There's probably 5 clips in this short video. Let me see if I can find it.
Does it get tiresome? Can't say. They chasing the black nigga out of PG
Oh,
County.
this shit. Look at it. I think that's it. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is it right here. So behind me, white people live behind me. So I'll explain to you why they live behind me. In DC, they've built like some faux brownstone, or in DC parlance, it would be row houses. And they can overprice those things. So it's like faux brick. It's not like the brick in Northwest DC, Petworth. This is faux brick, built in a lab or something. And so what you're seeing is this white guy who lives behind me in one of these small, brand new townhomes. And he's coming to get his Uber Eats delivery order because, as you can see the police tape in front, I think it's police tape, his Uber Eats driver, the car right here, cannot get to his address.
You live right here, my man?
Yeah.
Where you live right here? What you doing right here? Yeah, what the hell you doing living right here? Oh, you getting your delivery order? Man, these some dumb ass niggas right here, ain't it? These some dumb fucking niggas. Every day
I better mute this. Could have got on with it.
they shooting and doing some stupid shit, huh? You didn't hear it. They were chasing the dumb nigga right there. There's a dumb ass fucking nigga. You see the car right there in front of the police? They were chasing the dumb nigga. You see, that's why PG County police is out here. Yeah. These niggas done stole so many of my motherfucking bikes and shit.
The white man, he gotta ignore what I'm saying.
Yeah, all right. These are dumb fucking niggas. You can't even ask them. Hey, man, is a nigga that shot the motherfucker? They won't say nothing. They protect these fucking criminal ass niggas more than they protect the citizens. A nigga was shooting somebody. Probably they chasing the black nigga out of PG County. They protect these black ass niggas. Look at another old dreadlock head nigga.
Man, I'm going to look at the dreadlock. Hey, look, this is a white man. He live in my neighborhood. He live directly behind me, right? He being confronted with like, damn, these blacks be committing all kind of crimes in the middle of the night. I can't get my delivery order.
Chasing the black nigga out of PG County. They protect these black ass niggas. Look at another old dreadlock head nigga. You protect these niggas, don't you, boy? Huh? These fucking low IQ niggas. Shit. You got dreadlock. What you think about the fucking niggers when? Fucking
you supposed to be a cop with these fucking low IQ blacks. Do you ever think that, damn, maybe these niggas are low IQ and violent? You ever thought about that? No? You never? So all these niggas you be arrested, you say, damn, maybe they're stupid. I can tell you about how many fucking bikes of mine they stole. Huh? Yeah, so you know the niggas steal. You know that, so you do know, you bet that they steal. You say you bet that they stole my bikes, right? How many niggas do you arrest on any given week? Just out of curiosity. No, so how many niggas do the people that you supervise arrest on any given week? Many niggers. How about niggers? I ain't sure about niggers, I ain't sure about people. How about niggers? Of that percentage of people, how many are niggers? What's the percentage of niggers? I'm just asking curiosity.
You tell me. I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm a landlord right here. I would probably say probably 90% niggers.
Your community member?
Yeah, so I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know. Are the same niggas, is this one of the niggas that stole my bike? It could be the nigga that stole my bike. Huh? Did you see anyone get out of the car? No, that's what I'm saying. Is that the car?
Do you want to assist in being a witness?
Yeah, show me the nigga, because I got the nigga that stole my bike on camera. It could be the same nigga. I got the nigga that stole my bike. You want to go?
I'm still pissed off about that bike. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boy, that Gazelle, that hurt my heart. It's still motherfucking Gazelle. I had a turn too. They still motherfucking turn. Anyone know what a turn bike is? Let me show you. Listen, the fucking city gave me this one. Turn bikes. Let me show you what I had a turn. It was one like I guess it was like this. No, it's not a turn. It's like this right here. It was this one right here. No, it was similar to this one. It's a Trek. It was a turn. It was orange though. Yeah, they stole that one too. That was shit. I don't even think I talked about that one on stream, but yeah, they stole that one too. A turn bike. Anyway. I could go through more and more of my messages and phone calls and shit. I did want to do that girl, that young girl. That was a hell of a phone call. Damn. Let me see if I have it. If I have it, I want to play that for you. A young girl trying to make her way in the world. She probably needs a young man. She needs a jungle. And she called me. She reached out to me. She saw my ads on Facebook. And what's the problem here? Okay, here it is. Let me see if I can find this call. Damn. Phone call. Let me see if this is it. Shit. That's not it. I think that's the call, but I gotta edit it. Anyway, all right. Guys, I should call it a night. One of the things I did want to talk about before I get out of here, someone mentioned something that I wanted to follow up on. It was about Michelle Reed. It was that one, not that one. Trying to go into the point with it. Yeah. No answer that. Damn, it was a question. Someone asked a question. Oh yeah, yeah. Be brave and I. We hitting real hard, Dolomite for sure. Oh, let me shout out American Man Herman, and there was someone else. I could look at my cash. Herman, American Man, and damn, it was one more guy from the last show. I did want to send a shout out to Herman, American Man, and someone else. American Man, I didn't ban you. I think someone else may have banned you. Typically, and this is probably someone. I've read some comments from people. A lot of times when I'm doing the show, and particularly when it's Brave and I'm so late into the show that I may miss. Well, I'm watching the chat, and I'll incorporate it into the conversation, but I may not mention your name or something like that. But I am watching the chat. I'm listening to you. but I think you guys are fairly intelligent. I'm not going to denigrate you guys, and you don't have the ego where you need to be acknowledged. Like, hey, don't might say this, or hey, because what you're saying is being weaved into the conversation. And I don't like all that AI stuff. Hey, show me the money, this type of thing, or do something to make me feel good, or whatever the Izzy does and all that. I don't really like all that, and I think the audience here can appreciate, the raw dope without the fluff. But if you think we need more of that, then you let me know. But I don't think I can do that, to be honest with you. Anyway, at least you didn't bring up the microwave. Yeah, I didn't bring up the microwave. What did you think about what the Hispanic woman said about the black women? I think that bears repeating again, because she did not give me any pushback as to what was being said. And for those of you that didn't hear it right off the break, this was me giving the talk to a Hispanic woman. The ugly black lady you talking about? Yeah.
Not a crackhead or some shit. Like,
hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes. How you doing?
I don't know what's going on, boy.
Say, what's going on? Is the black lady still causing the problem? She said what did she say? Something about you being Spanish or something? What that had to do with anything?
So basically, I said, did you call the paramedics? And she said, bitch, why would I do that? Something, I'm not a crackhead or some shit. Like, all these Migos, she was like something about all these Migos are in the house, or why did he let a Migo move in or some shit.
Are you visibly Spanish? Hispanic or whatever? Oh, you kind of tell?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Short or something? A lot of these black women be very jealous of like people with long hair. Is your hair long or something?
Yeah, the hair that I have in my hair is long. Yeah.
Oh shit! And her hair, I guess, is short.
When you come, you'll see what I'm talking about.
And so her hair is short, I guess.
Yeah.
And you said she kind of ugly.
Yeah, well, not kind of. Yeah, definitely to me. Yeah.
Figure these things out, honestly. That's why the fat black lady, the ugly black lady you talking about, why she was so angry towards you, because every other group is figuring this out, but the blacks can't seem to even figure out how to pay their rent. And she had a man with her, didn't she?
Yeah.
She had a man with her, right? And
I don't understand that.
But again, she's very ugly. He probably ain't doing very well for himself, because why would he be with this ugly woman? And so, they're both down bad, right? And there really is no pulling themselves out of this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think about who.
You heard that, Conan?
You work somewhere. Do they have blacks like this working at your job?
No.
Right? Think about it. Like, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, the black guy that was moving out. I don't know if you know this. Hey, I don't know how long you've been in DC. This is rough talk for the blacks. Can you imagine someone like Stanley Cross hearing this? It's rough talk.
Not just your house. Never lived there before.
Okay. So here's one of the things about the blacks. The longer you stay in DC, you're gonna realize this. The blacks oftentimes depend on like government agencies to pay their rent. Does that make sense? And so we don't accept government money. This is a Latino woman paying her own way. And she looking at the black man next door to her, begging for government assistance, chimping out. And what do you think the opinion that she's going to form of this black? This is John Gard bringing it to you. Like, this is down on the streets. This ain't no super chatting here. She paid me direct. There's no YouTube man in between. So he wanted us to like fill out all this paperwork so that they would pay his rent. And I think he works. He works. But he didn't want to pay his own rent. And I said, yo, bro, we don't take that government money. Oh, God. So you got to leave. And he got mad about that. And, he refused to leave. And I guess until he found another place, I'm not sure. And so when I'm there today, he said, I'll be out by today. I said, okay, what's taking you so long? Because I wanted to do some electrical work in the house. I didn't know you were there. So
why was he in my room?
He was in your room?
Yeah.
When?
When I left out, I was going to the car and he was in my room yelling at the police saying something about you cut the electricity off. And then some girl was parked on the side of the street saying, yeah, that's the girl right there. That's the girl right there. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, these blacks are really. Man, I had another phone call from a black. I was telling somebody, bro, like, I could probably have a channel straight up off phone calls from these blacks showing the underbelly of the blacks. And here's another phone call. I haven't even edited it yet. I'm just going to give it to you raw. Here's the phone call. Wow. If you send me some money and it's in your name, well, okay, cool. I know you, right? Okay. Does that make sense? But if you send me some money, if you have somebody else send me some money, then and I don't know this person, then how the hell did I know what I know to attribute it to you? So what I'm explaining to you here is the black ecosystem where they sling dick for rent and money and stuff like this. They beg their employees for payday advances. And oftentimes they'll have someone else just pay the rent directly for them. And this is what I'm trying to explain to the black. Hey man, you slinging dick and some woman that you met in the club, she paid your rent. But if she don't tell me that this is for DeMarquis's rent, how the hell I know it's your rent? It's just floating down in the ether. Does that make sense? God damn, man. Listen, man. Listen. I'm gonna see if I get it again. I'm gonna see if you can get it this time, okay? I'm gonna see if I can explain to you. If a random person sends me some money, I'm gonna see if I can get it one more time, right? See if you can understand this. Mm-hmm. If you have some random person send me some money that I don't know, okay, for your rent, then how the hell I know it's your rent? I don't know that person. They didn't say, hey, this is for such and such's rent in such and such a room. It just shows up as a random cash app. How the hell do I know whose rent it is? Does that make sense?
No, it don't. But like I said,
I said, man, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Jesus, I can't deal. No, it don't make sense, Mr. John Goff.
No, it don't. But like I said, I'm gonna see you.
Okay. If I owed you some money, hold on.
I hear what you're saying. Are you not hearing what I'm saying?
If I owed you some money, let's say I owed you $100, and then I had some random person send you the $100, you wouldn't. You still think that I owed you $100?
Aren't you expecting $100?
But I get a lot of $100, so I don't know your $100 from another person's $100. There are a bunch of damn black men. There's a bunch of damn black men got women sending me money to pay their rent for whatever reason. And so how the hell I know it's your woman versus some other nigga's woman? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna have somebody else send me some money for you, you need to let me know ahead of time.
Okay, I understand.
He finally got it.
I understand.
But like, you can't have. He finally got it. He finally got it. You see how slow these people are?
I argue with you. I understand.
But I'm just saying, you can't just have someone random.
I don't want no confusion.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You creating confusion by having some random person.
And I'm trying to avoid. I'm not going to have the confusion again.
And so that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to wait for the screenshots. If you don't have the screenshots from that person, I'm going to just cancel whatever's going on. And then tomorrow you can put up on me personally and get cash. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so that works? So let's go over this. When is the last cash app you sent from your account?
I sent it.
That was delivered.
Was it last Saturday?
Saturday.
Last Saturday.
All right, let me see what day.
With the screenshot.
All right, let me see what day. How did you send that?
I sent partly Zelle, and then I sent. Well, I think I did it all on Cash App. Or one on Zelle. I'm not sure. I was busy.
See, this is another thing dealing with blacks. You're like, partial payment here, partial payment there. It just their whole damn life is disorganized.
See last Saturday, but you have the screenshots from it.
Okay, let me see. Let me look at the screenshot. You said last Saturday, which would have been the 18th, right?
That's when I moved in, right?
Let me see when you moved in. You sent it by Cash App. Oh, I see one for one. The bigger point I'm showing you is like, it looks like one.
Wait.
Go ahead, what you say?
What'd you say? Like I said, I was like, I can show you the transaction from when it all came out of my account that day too. So.
What? Yeah, I see the one for 100 on July the 11th. Did you send it by Zelle?
What, the 250?
Yeah.
No, it came out through the Cash App.
All right,
The screenshot.
All right, see, that one didn't go through. That one
What do you
didn't
mean it didn't go through? It came out my account.
All right, I'm gonna show you what I see right here.
All right, look, tomorrow, let's do this. Can you meet me at my job tomorrow and we just handle this, whatever, so you can show me what you got in person, I can show you what I got in person, and then we just walk to the...
And see, again, what I try to explain to Black is, you the only Black that's asking me to meet me in my job. Do this, do this. The white people, the non-Blacks, they figured all this shit out. It's only his dumb ass where I gotta bend over backwards to collect a measly a few $100. They're just not cut out to, they don't fit here in society. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. It sounds ugly. But what can you make of it? But what you're hearing here.
ATM, square out, we got square out, because all the confusion with the back and forth from the bank is just, yeah, because every time when I was trying to send you, I was going back and forth to the bank. Every time I try to flag it, it said fraud. And then I sent it back and I sent it. I was like, I asked you for clarification. You asked me to send the screenshots. Send you the screenshots. You said, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm not disputing.
I let you know everything was going on. That's why this time when I tried to send it, that's why this time when I tried to send it, it didn't go. So I was like, fuck it. Let me just send it to my girlfriend. So it went. She said, I don't know if she sent it or whatever, maybe it bounced back.
This bitch might have stole the money from the nigga. Who knows?
Again, because we got the same bank account. But I told her to send it through her Cash App instead. She sent me this, I'm waiting for her to send me the screenshot. If you don't have that, then tomorrow, fuck all that. You can meet me at my job. It's a Waking Bar Grill. You can show me what you got, show me the transaction. I can show you my transaction.
Let me show you where the Black works. This is why, like, there really is no place for them. It's the way it works. It's the way it works right here. See what kind of food they have. Crab cake sandwich, Uptown burger, crab rolls, parties. When you see parties, you know what's going on. Private events. About, and here it is. Our menu is a tribute to mumbo sauce and wings. To our signature half smoked. This is all Black shit. This is the way it works. This is why he doesn't have any money. But of course, it's going to be located in the white areas, where no one in these white areas want to eat this shit. This is in Capitol Hill. There are 5-star restaurants over here. He can't compete with them. This restaurant can't compete. That's the ugly fact right there. The Blacks. This is why you can't rent to them. They work for bullshit establishments. See, this is where his restaurant is. Right down the street is where I videoed the black bull arguing with the police at the restaurant. And so again, if you look at, let me show you this. I'm going to show you what you're going to see. Look at this. Uh-oh. Look at this shit.
What?
Uh-huh. Roll with it. Roll with it. Roll with it. Roll with it. You gotta roll with it. You roll with it. This is what this Negro work. Look at this shit. Mambo sauce. These fuck. I gotta maintain my professional boardroom demeanor here. Look at these black. Look at these fucking blacks. Look at these fucking blacks. Look at this shit. I just discovered a new black-owned brunch. Roll with it. Roll with it. Look.
Chocolate City, DC culture, from the drinks, the food. Come with me to.
This is where this Negro works.
And I think this
might be the Negro.
Listen, the bar.
Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. These fucking blacks. Lord have mercy.
Spot, and I found just
what you found? What you
the
got?
perfect neighborhood happy hour spot, and I found just that at Awakening Bar and
a bull run. Look at this shit, bull run. Ain't nothing but a bull run. Ain't never. This way it work, Dolomite. You think you getting any tips? Anybody think this black getting any tips? Mm-hmm. The hunt is over.
Last night I went to Awakening in DC. It was a really cool spot.
Did you see that shit? Look.
There for the wings and the
they there for the wings
off.
and shit. They there for the wing. He there for the wings. Look.
It was a really
happy Juneteenth.
Last night I went to Awakening in DC.
Look at that. Happy Juneteenth. This is where my tenant works. Is it any wonder? Although he's in a prime neighborhood, he broke his hell.
It was a really cool spot. I was there for the wings and the fries, which were half off. Y'all, look at this food. First off, I started with the fries, Parmesan cheese, some other seasonings, so good. And then the wings came with...
Man, get the fuck out of here. Who the hell gonna eat that? These big fat black bulls serve you food?
Spot and the Mumbo wings are amazing.
Mumbo wing.
Just found y'all new neighbors.
This is Chinese creation, by the way.
Are amazing. Awakening Bar and Grill maybe knew that.
Yeah. There's a reason why they didn't come over here to the ghetto.
Go for delicious and grown night in DC. DMV Foodies. Now this is where you go for delicious and grown night in DC.
Wings. The whole fucking shit is wings. Jesus Christ. It's music. Oh, this shit. This is DC's best kept secret.
Country brunch experience hiding in the middle of DC. There's an entire country brunch.
Did you see that bull on the bull?
Experience hiding in the middle of DC, and the fact that no one is talking about it is crazy. It's called Desert 5 Spot. It's tucked right next to Union Market, and they offer brunch every weekend until 3 p.m. Don't let the small menu fool you, because the pork ribs and the crispy...
Jesus Christ. Have mercy on my soul. Look at that big old bull. Riding the bull. And I am John Galt, the urban landlord, bringing to you rough, rugged, and raw, as Be Brave would say. Thank you guys for joining. This nigga has a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast forward. I am the nigga John Galt. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lead. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden era faded, but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme. Pop popping them bottles, throwing money, living dreams. Now they sold out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted defeat. Back in the day, the rock had them wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. New drugs got them slow with the hit unknown. Out close and they don't dance no more. Block used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone.
I am the nigga. I bring it to you rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Even dancing in the rain. Now they nodding off. Shit just don't hit the same.
I am that nigga.